What is up? Welcome to the NBA Rundown, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Astaire, joined today by Tyler Hicks and AP, switching up. Usually he's with us on Friday. He's going to be here on Tuesday. But before we get into giving out the winners, I have a sad tale to tell. It was a cold, dark night in Sacramento.
There was no beam.
When I went to sleep, I had no dreams. There was no hope. There was no joy. There was no beam. JC Zargo called it yesterday, so we're bringing him back today. What do you got for us, JC? Let us know what's going on.
Look, man, I've been doing the show for a little while now, and I'm not always the best at picking a favorite, but when I pick a dog, it's a hungry dog. Hungry dogs run faster, baby, and, just been great. It's been great. Winning is awesome. All this money just comes raining in is awesome. So I just, wanted to wish everyone a happy holidays. Tell your loved ones you love them. And, if you're feeling charitable, all this money, to throw a penny to the MS Society. And, happy holidays. And I'm just sorry, Spread. I really am sorry. I wish this could have been the other way around. I wish we could have been pulling for your team. But no, the Charlotte Hornets brought home a dub as predicted, and I'm so sorry there was no beam to brighten your city and your night.
Yes, it was a dark night in Sacramento, but I wanted to say congratulations, JC, and what a great night for you, because Pat Bev even hit the too small.
Oh man, Pat, it was a great night for JC. It's really all that was.
Yeah, AP, how do you feel about that? Of all the NBA players in the league, we got all these entertaining players. JC's favorite player is Pat Beverly.
Oh, I mean, really? Pat Bev? Come on, man. That can't be your favorite player.
No, this is no hyperbole. It's not a bit. Like, you can ask me any day of the week. Pat Beverly is my favorite NBA player.
Can you explain why? Like in under a minute.
It's he's kind of like Draymond. Like, I just like the guys who play the game a different way. Like, they're not dominant on the court, so they got to find different ways to get advantages and be a difference maker on the team. That's what Pat Bev does. He's a lot of defensive stats that don't show up on the stat sheet he's good at, and he'll get in guys' head, and he'll make a difference out there, even if he's not lighting up the scoreboard.
We can agree to disagree. I can Oh, it's too good.
All right, JC. Well, thank you for stopping by, taking that victory lap as promised. I hope you have some safe travels today, and you'll be back on the rundown later this week. So if you want more of those Moneyline Dog winners, JC will be back on Thursday, and then, of course, he's with us every Monday. JC, hope you have a good trip. Any holiday words before we start giving out the winners?
Straight money wins money.
All right, there you go. No parlaying for JC Zargo. There we go. All right, we're going to jump into picking some winners right now. But before that, AP, we were both talking. We didn't think it was a very good NFL primetime game last night. We had our eyes on the association. Did you have any takeaways from last night before we give out the winners today?
I mean, it was a fun night in the basketball streets. It had some members with some monster wins. Bogarts turned $20 into $44K. Shout out to him. I was talking to him. He has a baby on the way too. So just, you absolutely love to see it. And man, it was so like for me, I min cashed. I was right there, and I just didn't get all the pieces in the right place. Like I ended up getting really high on Markelle Fultz, like right towards the end, just because I was one of those last second things you look at. And you're like, God, the guy's actually been balling. He's been producing. He's been stuffing the stat sheet. I didn't get him on any of my main teams, but like one awesome contest on DraftKings is the $4. It's usually $15K to first. It's a 20 max. If you're like new to multi-entering, that's the one I recommend doing. $80 to max it a night. And there's tons of value in there, and you can take shots, chances, and it's a great tournament. But had an outside chance in that one, didn't get it all done. But man, Joval, what a monster night that he had. I've been playing him, just knowing that he's a guy that has upside. It just takes some motivation to get it done, and I got off him last night. But center was so loaded, it didn't really matter too much because Naz Reid, then Sabonis, both had monster nights. But no, I'm excited to break this one down with you guys today.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be jumping more into those the $4 streets when the NFL's over, and I'm just all NBA all the time. So
It's spread. You know what I do in it? I always like when I do it. I always will just try to take like a bold stand on a play, like a gut random, like a last night Markelle Fultz. I ended up. I was literally crunch time. Like none of my entries were filled. It was literally DraftKings timer was counting down. It was like 30, 29, 28. Uploaded it like just in time. And I had my exposures all wrong. I was very high on Fultz in that, but it literally jammed in like James Harden in every single one of my builds. So a slight mistake there, but it's still a great contest.
Speaking of Markelle Fultz, did either of you guys see the end of that Magic Hawks game?
I didn't catch the end of it. I was watching the football game. I seen that they came back and then the Hawks won it by 1.
It was unreal. So the Magic are down by 1. DeAndre Hunter just lets Fultz like roll to the line. Like it looked like when a team's up or down by 30, right? Like the type of defense you'd see in a blowout game. With the game on the line, he's even running back down the court with this look on his face. Like, I can't believe it was that easy. Because I know he was thinking he was going to drive and kick. I think DeAndre Hunter thought there was help behind him. There wasn't. He gets this easy layup, right? Then on the other end, they called like the biggest BS foul. I think they called it on Paolo, but it was a terrible call. They basically just gave the Hawks the game. The Magic should have won again. We have to keep our eyes on the Magic team. Now, we gave out the Magic as a winner yesterday, but we should have got that money line too. So just wanted to talk about that one. The other notable thing I think from last night, AP, my model is loving the overs right now because I do have last 5. I've moved up the weight a little bit. And overs have been money, except for how did Philadelphia and Toronto go under in overtime? I thought that was kind of funny, right? So, it's funny. Even though these things will trend a certain direction, there will be ways to break the trend. Let's talk about some of these games tonight. The Utah Jazz are going to be the first one on our docket. They start at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. for us out on the Pacific. Utah Jazz are minus 2.5, total 229.5. Tyler, I had this game pretty close by projections. If I'm going to bet it, I'm going to have to find an angle through handicapping the game, not just running numbers. What are your thoughts when the Jazz play the Pistons?
Yeah, I mean, one thing to touch on, I'm pretty sure AP will touch on it too. I mean, centers absolutely kill this Jazz team. So definitely look at some Duren props here because he's been playing better. He's recorded double-digit rebounds in, I believe, 5 of his last 6 games. His prop's 10.5, but I'm going to go the double-double route because I believe he can get the 10 points in this matchup. And you're getting that double-double at plus 235. So I like that. As for the side, give me the Pistons here. Jazz on a back-to-back. I think Conley's going to sit here. They're 0-6 straight up in their last 6 road games. Bogdanovich is going to light him up from 3. Ivy's back. Give me the Pistons out right here. Spread is 2-point dogs.
AP, what are your thoughts on the Jazz and the Pistons?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Tyler on this one. Jazz back-to-back blowout losses to Cavs Bucks. They're on a short 3-game road trip, 0-2 so far. I think they make it 0-3. And this team, we talked about it. They had a hot start to the year, cooling off now. You got to take advantage of that. The Pistons are who they are. They need Cade back, but you got to like how, and we talked about this on Friday, Spread, like Killian Hayes is playing really good. Jaden Ivey is kind of in a timeshare with Alec Burks, but I think Ivey is going to start being kind of that guy, coming off a really nice game against the Nets, 7 for 11. Kind of did it on both ends of the courts too, which is what you want to see. So I like the Pistons here. I like the side and money line, a home dog there. And I think Duren has a big game too. I think you get a lot of support from our bench guys here too, like Alec Burks, Sadiq Bey, and even a little Marvin Bagley. I think this is one of those matchups that's actually pretty good for him because you're just not like defensively, you're not worried about like the Jazz have no bigs that you're worried about a guy like Marvin Bagley having to guard. You know what I mean? So I think Detroit wins handily here, and I'm locked arm in arm with Tyler.
Wow. Okay, so taking the home dog here, 2 guys liking the Pistons on the money line.
I love the over here too, Spread. I was
just about to ask you about the total.
Yep.
All right. Any reasons we're going for the over. I know Clyde's going to laugh. Clyde, I do have edges on other games. I just don't have an edge on every single game.
Jazz, they aren't playing defense right now. I think there's just going to be a lot of easy buckets in this game. Clarkson, as long as he's in, I am firing the over. The dude is catching and shooting right now, which is what you want. I mean, we want that in an over type of environment. I just see there being a lot of easy buckets. So as long as we see an average to above average shooting night from your Clarksons, your Malik Beasley, then your Alec Burkses, and all the other guys here, I think the game goes over.
A lot of Hornets fans in the chat today, Tyler. I think they're enjoying my tears. Matt Sessions has a question. Do you think Ivy will be high on ownership tonight, AP?
Yeah, I mean, he's 5K. There are some rotation concerns, but look, it would not surprise me at all if we saw him get back up to the 30-plus minutes. And 5K, 30-some minutes, yeah, we're going to be a fan of him. I do worry because the offense right now, Killian Hayes is doing a good job at kind of running the show, and he's playing good defense. So I think his rotation stays firm unless these guys cook him or something, but I'm not seeing it tonight.
All right.
How do you feel about a cheap guy in Kevin Knox? He dominated this matchup earlier in the year, and small forwards over the last 2 weeks averaged 25 points versus this Jazz team. He's going to probably draw a smaller guard, too, in that second rotation when he comes out.
That is your perfect the $4.20 max play. Like a guy like that, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I think it's a fringe play, to be honest, just because he comes off the bench. He's cheap. The rotation is a little bit in production, a little bit unpredictable. But that's like the perfect value play for one of those, like the $4.20 max. So that's where I could get on board with it there.
Gotcha. And even though Travis isn't here, right? This is his day. He's usually the Tuesday guy. We have to talk about revenge. Ryan Butler says Bojan and Kelly revenge season. Buying into that narrative.
Don't forget that the Jazz drafted Alec Burks. So he has that kind of little bit of a motivation.
I like Alec Burks here. Kelly O's played for like so many teams now.
Yeah, he's been all around.
His true revenge is like against Boston, right?
Is it against Boston or Miami?
I think it's
Boston or Miami, one of those. Yeah, Boston.
I think that this Pistons team is a pure fade without Alec Burks. I think if they trade him and Bojan, they're gonna win like 4 games for the rest of the year. It's so crazy how he doesn't do a lot in the box score, but whenever he makes a meaningful contribution, that team wins. So
because he can create and he can make buckets. You need a guy like that, like running the second unit. He's like the perfect second unit guy. He just doesn't play defense though.
They have a performance double on Bogdanovich tonight. 4+ threes and Detroit wins +600. You guys think there's value in that?
Wait, say it one more time.
Bogdanovich 4+ threes and the Pistons win. We already like him to win. He's in that motivational spot against his old team. I feel like he could go in and just hit the 5 threes here and clear that 4 that we need. And a +600, I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I can't argue. All those long shots I always love because you don't have to hit them very often to be profitable.
It aligns with my overs bet too, so I'm on board with that.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll have to jump in. I had a lean to the over there. 3-point edge. You like that, Clyde? 3-point edge. But we can move that up to RPB at the end of the show. The Golden State Warriors are +5 in New York, taking on the Knicks. Total's up to 221.5. I bet this at 220.5 when I made the playbook about an hour ago. Tyler, this game will be on TNT. The Warriors have been terrible on the road, although they did win their most recent outing. That was in Toronto. Toronto hasn't really looked that good, though. I don't know if that's like the same win that we would have thought earlier this season. Jordan Poole, I think, went for 49 in that game. I think he's gone for like 29 and 49 in the 2 games since Steph's out. So, of course, we're going to be looking at him to have a big night if the Warriors are going to compete. Tyler, you were talking about Wiggins on Basketball Monster or on CBS. Actually, I saw it on CBS. They said he was out till Christmas. Are you seeing that he's going to play? No, he's out again.
No, he's still out.
Kuminga and Clay are probable. No DiVincenzo. I like the Knicks here. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I love the Knicks here. I mean, we were talking about the Warriors being a fade on the road. Now there's no Steph Curry to help them. Now they're still on the road, going to Madison Square Garden. Poole could have himself a big game, but I think they're just not going to be able to defend this Knicks team, really. You see, with DiVincenzo doubtful, that's just going to take another body out of the rotation. That's a scorer off the bench for them, so you lose that production. I just think the Knicks have better players in every spot. maybe outside of the point guard spot tonight with Poole. So give me the Knicks here at that short number. I think they win this game pretty easily. I think Randall has a big game too.
Yeah, I like the Knicks here tonight. Fade the Warriors on the road. Fade the Warriors with no Steph. I know Poole's been playing well, but at this point, it's weird. I know the Warriors say strength in numbers, but wouldn't you say the Knicks are the deeper team with these injuries?
Oh, yeah,
that the Warriors
definitely
are
the
dealing
deeper
with?
team right now.
Yeah, I think the Warriors are going to have problems because without Poole off the bench, like that bench is going to be pretty rough.
And if that's where DiVincenzo stepped in, and if he's out too now, you don't get that production. You're kind of.
And I think he'll be out. He's doubtful, right?
Yeah, doubtful, and that was a midday doubtful, so I don't think he's playing today.
And I'd like to see Kuminga out there. This is a great opportunity for him to grow and develop. And I know a lot of people have been hard on him, but he doesn't get to just play through mistakes like rookies on the Pistons or on the Spurs, right? Or on the Hornets, right? Where these guys just to get to go out there, get 40 minutes, make a ton of mistakes. He makes one mistake and the whole fan base here turns against him. And don't even get me started on what they do to Wiseman out here. But AP, what do you think about the Knicks and the Warriors?
Yeah, I mean, this is where I'm going to be a little bit different. So initially, all right, so it's kind of a tale of two tales for me. Like, yeah, initially I'm like, man, the Knicks here, they're going to absolutely roll. Started looking into it, was rewatching some of the Dubs Toronto game. Maybe I just shouldn't be allowed to bet on or against the Warriors because I think that's like the one team that's like my kryptonite right now. But I don't know, man. The play of Kevon Looney has been really good, especially from a defensive standpoint. I think Draymond, you got to like what we saw from him last game. At least he looked very motivated. He was hitting shots. He was getting players involved. I mean, they had more assists in the first half than they had rebounds against the Raptors. I mean, this team was playing like a Warriors team that we're accustomed to seeing, despite Steph Curry not being there. And they're running everything through, obviously trying to get Poole and Thompson open shots. Now, DiVincenzo being out, sure, that's a concern from a defensive standpoint. But Ty Jerome, I believe, went to college, in Virginia. Then I believe he had a short stint in OKC. Guy's a good defender, man. I think he gets big minutes tonight. I think just looking at what the Warriors did to Fred VanVleet, I know like Toronto kind of on a skid right now, but they absolutely shut him down. They absolutely shut Siakam down. I think they shut Randall down. I think they shut Jalen Brunson down. And if they can show the effort that we saw against Toronto tonight, and then if they can hit shots through Clay and Poole, I think they get the win and the upset tonight in Madison Square Gardens. And I mean the Knicks. All right, so like the Knicks, they're on a nice run right now. What, like 7-game win streak? It's all against like bad teams, in my opinion. And so, like, yeah, it's a good streak to have. Like, you want to pile up wins, but man, I mean, a lot of those were close. Pacers. I guess the 2 wins against the Bulls were good, but another team is kind of struggling. Man, the Warriors have been so bad on the road. But I love this spot. I think Draymond, he's always showed up at the Garden. Poole has, I think, another monster night. I think Clay does it again on both sides of the court. So I got the Warriors side and money line upsetting the Knicks tonight.
Well, I love this NBA rundown, Tyler. It feels, the guests always bring it, right? Sometimes we're kind of tepid in our takes, and hey, we're taking favorites, we're taking overs. These guests are coming on, calling their shots, and AP's done it here by taking the Warriors as favorites on national TV.
All right, so
we're
gonna know early, I think, because Draymond's always is he motivated or not? If he comes out and is motivated, so maybe it's a live bet type of thing if you want. But they got a few more. They got 2 more games left on this road trip. I think they win one of them. It's a long road trip. I think they win one more game, and I don't see them beating the Nets. So I think the opportunity tonight is against the Knicks.
Does it worry you any bit that like most of these veterans on that team said early in the year that they don't really care about the regular season? They're only worried about the postseason. Now banged up without Steph, that could be the spot where they're like, screw it. Like, we're just going to run these games. If we lose them, we lose them. As long as we hold tight enough to get a playoff spot, we'll be fine.
But the thing is, they're not holding tight. I mean, they're 17-18 right now. I mean, they're one game below 500. The West is.
I just think they come in and they're like, we're better than this Knicks team, even without our, leader in Steph Curry. So I mean, Wiggins is a good hit too, but so the other thing too is I kind of lean under here. I just think the game goes a little bit more defensive. That's what we've seen with Knicks games. But as we've talked about, it seems like every Knicks game goes to overtime. So like I would be very nervous in betting the under here in this spot.
8 of the last 9 have went under for the Knicks, so don't mind that call.
Yeah, but I think there's some over trends too, isn't there? Let me pull it up.
We the people, this is like their 6th game on this road trip, I believe, right?
Yeah, I was to say they're coming off a win.
It's a 6-game road trip, so they're
Golden
1 for
State's
3 so
over
far.
in 5
I
of
have
their
them
last
winning
6.
2.
Yeah,
I have them going 2 and 4.
All right. Well, hey, we love it when you take a shot. It's easy to come on here and just say the favorites are going to win. You're calling your shots. Travis will be proud. We've talked about revenge. It's a typical Tuesday here on the NBA Rundown, brought to you by RunPureSports.com.
Our boy Clyde in the chat. Oh, sorry, Spread. I was about to say our boy Clyde in the chat's giving Sacramento some slander. The Kings are in the playoffs. There will be a Warrior spot in the playoffs.
We know that Draymond too is a guy that's always like, if he's motivated, he can be that guy. If he's not, he's not. Go look at what he does in the Garden. I was actually surprised when I looked those stats up. His stats are pretty good. Obviously, there's some motivation there too. So I'm going to side with that. I know it's not the playoffs and whatever, but I'm going to throw all that out. I don't care. I love Draymond tonight. I love Poole. The little knockout correlation there. I'm riding with that in DFS. and Ty Jerome. I think Ty Jerome, I don't know. Like these guys, like in these spots that step up, and if you can do it on the defensive end, and if you can contribute on offense, and it's your chance to shine, especially in a stage like the Garden, sign me up for that.
All right. Yeah, Clyde's slandering me, right? They're kicking me while I'm down because we lost to LaMelo. I mean, how embarrassing is that? He says that the Kings are in the playoffs. There will be a Warrior spot in the playoffs. First of all, Clyde, you need a beam in your life, okay? I don't even have a Christmas tree. I have a Christmas beam. I just putting presents around this beam of light that's coming off the table by my fireplace. You need a Christmas beam in your life, and you will see the light. Let's talk about the Chicago Bulls, who are +5 in Miami, taking on the Heat, total of 223. Tyler, the Bulls have been struggling lately. Boy, this team went all in. And talk about, it goes underrated. But that trade for Vukovic, don't you think that's one of the worst trades in recent memory? I mean, I almost think this team would be better with Wendell Carter Jr. And I think they grabbed Franz Wagner with the pick. Can you imagine if they had Carter and Wagner instead of Vukovic? I mean, they really flubbed that trade, and I think it's coming home to roost right now. This team lacks depth, and really without Lonzo in the backcourt, this team can't defend. They're all offense. Now they're going against the Heat team that, say what you want about them. They might not have a lot of talent, but I think they're going to put it on Chicago, especially defensively tonight. We have a lower total. It's 223. Tyler, I like the Heat. I'm going to be fading the Bulls for a while now. I just don't believe in this team. I know you've never believed in this team. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me the Heat. I'm actually with our guy, We the People, too. That Bam double and win in a close one. It's +170. I love that play because I think Bam eats up Vucevic. I think Hero also has a big game. You said they can't defend the backcourt, and Hero's been absolutely nuking teams. That jump shot's on. I'm just going to keep riding that. His 4+ threes and win. Let's see what we can get on the odds on that. His points prop is 20.5. I love the over there because who are they going to put on him? Caruso, I'm not that worried about him. He is a good defender. But
Caruso's a good defender.
But a Hero could shoot right over him.
Well, I mean, right now, like when we do those defensive matchups, it doesn't matter because they lazy switch so much.
Yeah, it's just a lazy switch on the screen. There's no dedicated, I'm going to chase this guy around. So that Hero 4+ threes and win at +300. I love that play too. But yeah, give me the Heat tonight. I love them in this spot.
All right, AP, you took a stand taking the Warriors at +5. What do you think of the Bulls?
He's taking the Bulls. I can tell.
Now we got JaMychal Green questionable. We got the midday report coming, with an illness. I would backstep if we were gonna get more like Anthony Lamb and some of these dudes, even Kuminga. I don't know. I would move off of that. I'm going to retrace my steps and say, wait for the news or live bet this situation or just take the Knicks with those guys. But yeah, this news is so crazy. It's like, if you are, trying to be profitable betting, you really have to have a good, handle on what the news is. You have to be very careful about early bets, in my opinion. I know with early bets, you can get an edge for sure. But a lot of that aligns with understanding what the news is And you hate the Warriors are already thin, and there's key guys in there that I just don't trust right now at all. And if they're going to get into the rotation, that would definitely benefit the Knicks. But this game, I'm all like the Heat are going to smash them, man. I'm with you guys. The Bulls are struggling right now. This team is just an absolute disaster. While the Heat, on the other hand, are really starting to find their groove. A lot of it through Tyler Hero. The dude is an absolute stud. This Bulls team has been better at opposing backcourts. I'm sure they're going to be all over Tyler Hero. But like you guys said, Bam is going to light them up in the paint. And then you got Jimmy Butler that, can facilitate and then do what's needed as their leader. So the Heat big. I'm with you guys on this one. I like the Heat side. I'm not touching the total here.
Really? I like the over. You know why, AP? I like every single over. If you sort by last five,
I'm not gonna argue against you on that.
I mean, these games have been like ridiculous. Like teams are putting up 140 points. I mean, Tyler, you muted, but jump
awesome.
in here, right? Because you're watching.
I was gonna say, what about your Timberwolves when they put up 150 the other night?
Yeah, I mean, and it was against the Bulls, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you're watching. I mean, these guys are like, forget the 8 seconds to get across the court. It's like the whole league is running 7 seconds or less with Mike D'Antoni.
I'm with Clyde. I also forgot Patty Mills still plays, and I watch the NBA and research it daily. It's funny,
man. I thought he was going to be such a big pickup for the Nets too.
No, since we're on this Heat game, did you guys catch? I believe it was the game last week when a bunch of guys sat for the Heat.
Yeah, Sauce Boss was talking about it.
When they started Udonis Haslem.
Yeah.
I was at work. I turned the phone to my buddy. I was like, I bet you didn't think you would see this in 2022. And I showed him who was in the starting lineup.
I played Şengün that slate because I was like, Şengün's going to absolutely murder him. And they called the most ticky-tack fouls ever. So it was brutal. It was really brutal to watch.
They had to save the old man.
Did you see also that the Spoelstra or Pat Riley pulled a Belichick because they fined him?
They put everyone on there.
So then they put the whole team on the injury list the next day. Yeah. So lots of petty drama going on there. Richie Smalls always reminding me to do your job. Richie, I'll send you the Christmas check here real soon.
Before you get
smash
on to the next
the
game,
like. Hey, tell him to smash the like, Tyler, and then give him the call.
Definitely smash the like for us. We need those likes up for the algorithm. But before we move on to the next game, looking at these stats for these guys against the Bulls, Bam hasn't doubled against them in a while. I'm actually going to stay away from that performance double. Give me Jimmy against his former team to score 20+ and win at plus 160. He's done it 2 of the last 3 games at home in a game they could easily win where the Bulls aren't playing any defense. He's going for at least 20 here. So, yeah, I love that play better.
What did they get for Jimmy? We're talking about bad trades by the Bulls. Wasn't that a bad one, too? I'm trying to think of what they got. It was not good. Oh, wait, no. They got Levine, didn't they?
Levine? Yeah.
Okay, then that's not that bad.
I think it was pretty much it. It was Levine, and I think just a couple little other pieces that didn't really stay around.
If you got Levine for Jimmy, I mean, I think Jimmy's better, right? But, I mean, that's not like the complete throwaway. So, all right, you guys want to talk about Phoenix, who's taking on the Washington Wizards? Phoenix minus 7.5 at home against the Wizards. Total 228.5. Tyler, the Wizards have lost 10 games in a row. 10 games in a row. This team is terrible, man. I complain about my organization. The Wizards are so bad. The team is so bad. What are your thoughts? Am I freezing up? What happened?
You're freezing up a little
bit.
With
a smile on your face.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got a giant smile on your face.
Oh, that was too good. You're saying it's so bad and big smile on your face. Oh, that was awesome, Spread.
Well, I'm smiling because there's someone worse than the Kings finally.
Yeah, as for this game, I mean, I'm going to wait for the news because you seen when they played the Lakers last night, they sat Booker late. So I'm just going to wait, make sure we get that news. If he plays, I'll probably be on Phoenix here. If he's out, I'm probably just going to stay away from the game completely. Washington does look like a dumpster fire right now, but without Booker on a back-to-back, I don't want to back Phoenix here. So a stay away if Booker's out. If he's in, I'm on Phoenix.
All right, what do you think, AP?
Yeah, I mean, kind of a tough spot because I'm with you guys. The Wizards, they do suck, but they are better with Beal back in this lineup. And one reason why they suck is because he's always out. He never plays. If we get Beal in, and if you get the whole cast there from the Wizards, and if you get a spot where Booker sits, yeah, I'm definitely backing the Wizards here. So 10 game losing streak. We know it's going to end at some point. They have too many pieces, too many names. It's just they're never all playing together. But if we can get them all on the court against a team that's on a back-to-back where they're down a lot of different pieces, I got to side with the Wizards, even how gross it is. It's just one of those spots. So, but again, this is another thing where you got to wait for the news because Booker, questionable. You got Okogie, questionable. You got Campaign already out. And then on the Washington side, it's a little cleaner. Just Rui Hashimura is out, and Delon Wright, who's been out for forever, it seems like. So while it's gross to say, I do have a little bit of interest here in the Wizards tonight if Beal plays. And we just got some news already. Wow, news is hitting early. Kyle Lowry out, Caleb Martin out tonight.
Got to make us like Butler and Hero even more, right?
I
mean, they were already going to get the usage.
Those three are in a crush.
Now the backups are gone.
All right. So do we have a plan on this game? Clyde's going to hate this, but I came up with this game at 8.
I'm taking Phoenix if Booker plays. I need that news first, though, because I don't want to.
You'll lay the 7.5, or you can do a performance.
Because I don't think there's a guy that's going to be able to guard him for Washington, and I think he just lights him up.
I mean, Washington is so bad.
Like to see, and seeing what Phoenix did last night to the Lakers, it was just a giant team effort. I think they had all starters in double digits, so I could see maybe that they just kind of retract here if Booker plays, and they just kind of let him just go and do his thing with nobody on the other side to stop him, and he just hangs like a 40 piece, and they win by 10.
All right. Well, I'm excited for this next game. I think this game is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to watch it tonight. The Memphis Grizzlies are -1.5 in Denver, taking on the Nuggets. Total of 235.5. Tyler, I know you're going to hate this, but I like the Nuggets here. The Nuggets have been winning a lot. Let's see. I threw it in the playbook. What was our good stat there?
I don't think you could bet this yet.
Why not?
Because if Michael Porter misses and Jamal Murray, are you really just going to take Jokic against this team?
Yeah.
Good luck. They can't defend me, you, and AP if we were on the floor.
What do you mean? They got Will
Denver is one of the worst defenses in the league. They can't defend anyone.
All right. I'll wait on that. But I like the Nuggets, and I already bet it, so I'm kind of screwed there. My computer's freezing up. Can you pull up the playbook? I think Denver's won 9 of their last 10 at home against Memphis.
Yeah, here, give me 1 second. Scroll down.
I threw it in there.
I'll just go on the record and say I'm with spread because the way Jokic is playing right now is incredible. Like absolutely incredible. So yeah, I'm gonna side with Jokic. I'm definitely with spread on this one.
Yeah,
I mean, Jamal Murray's not even that good right now.
Denver's 7-1 straight up in their last 8 when playing at home against Memphis.
Yeah.
But Memphis 6-1 ATS in their last 8, 6-2 ATS in their last 8 against Denver.
Yeah.
I'm gonna plant my flag on the other side. I'm not taking Jokic in a matchup where I know Steven Adams might not be the best center in the league. I can tell you he's probably the strongest, and he's gonna be able to keep Jokic away from that hoop a little bit. So if I'm betting Jokic props, I'm betting threes. That'd be the way I'd approach him. But I think Memphis rolls into here, and I think they pretty much just dominate this game.
What would you say the record is against them? Is that what you're saying?
They in these last 8 matchups, Denver's 7-1 straight up.
At home.
Memphis,
That's only in Denver.
Home.
That's only in Denver.
And then in the last 8 matchups, just either court, Memphis is 6-2 ATS.
Yeah, I bet you Denver was favoring a lot of those. I'll bet you that's how that ATS record is changing. I'm not too worried about Jamal Murray and Michael Porter being out. Is Jamal Murray even that good this year?
I know he beat me. They're going to need other guys here because if it's just one guy, I think they're just going to sell out to stop him.
It's been one guy for like 3 years.
Yeah, and where's he getting it done? Nowhere.
What do you mean? They made
he gets him a 6 seed every year, and they're out by the conference finals. They made one conference finals, and it was the bubble.
Just looking at it, I do think Bones needs to come in and hit shots because when you just think about the matchup, like Tyler, you make good points. You got Adams, you got Jaren Jackson, to try and keep try to hold back Jokic a little bit, and then you got Dylan Brooks, who's like one of the better on-ball defenders to be on Jamal Murray. like you got like KCP, Bones, these guys, the Bruce Brown, they all need to produce and hit shots, I think, and I could see him doing that. I mean, Bones has been kind of quiet of late, but he has these games where he erupts. I think it could be a spot where he does that.
Are you interested in him in DFS tonight?
I mean, only because like the chat, like Discord is like begging, us not to play the guy. And no, I'm telling you, Joval is a recent one, and go look up Joval, the name in chat. You can do it by name. We'll pull up all the messages like stop with Joval, terrible, blah, blah, blah. 70 piece last night. Bones is capable of putting up 35, 40 plus. I don't think it's the slate or spot to do it because we got better guys at that position, but on a different slate, I would have some interest.
All right. What else do you got from this game, Tyler? I see we the people talking about John Morant props tonight.
I mean, you got to love Jaw here because teams just absolutely get to the rim on this Denver team. Jokic isn't the best rim protector. If Jaw is able to attack the rim all night, dude's definitely going for 30-plus points. So that performance double 30-plus and win, I love that at about plus 300. I don't mind the triple-double call or the double-double. I'd just rather bet the guy's points because I just think he's in one of those spots where he just walks in and there's nobody that can stop him on that side.
What was the story of him getting ejected? Was it like something related to the fan? Something a fan did or something? You guys know what I'm talking about? Last game, John Morant?
I think it was something he said to a ref, and then what he did was he got his friend to go give him the phone, and they FaceTimed the fan.
No, that was his dad. They said that the game was away, and there was a Grizzly fan right there on the sideline. I guess he got called for a ticky-tack foul, and the fan screamed to him, like, quit doing that or something. And he basically turned around to the fan and was like, I'm doing everything I can, like just talking to the fan. And the ref was like, yeah, you're out of here. And then his dad walked over with the phone on FaceTime with Jaw on it and was telling the fan, like, it's not your fault why I got kicked out.
That's cool
boy,
he did that.
Our boy Clyde is right about one thing. I mean, Joe Ingles getting healthy. If he can hit outside shots like he always has his whole career, that team's going to be tough. You got so much space that you can create. Like, oh, man. Yeah, like all those guys can hit outside shots now. Like Middleton. You got, Lopez. You got Bobby Portis. Now Ingles. Like, whew,
so
Giannis is going to be able to do whatever he wants.
6-1, lock it in right now to win it all?
I mean, you got to go through Boston still.
Yeah, but I think they can get through Boston. They got through Boston last year if they didn't have Middleton.
That's just not enough. Like, I don't know. That's probably not enough.
It's not a lot, but when you look around, it's like Boston's already down to plus 350. You can't really do anything there. Clippers are 8-1, Warriors 9, Nets 9, Phoenix 10, Memphis 15.
Nets are still the wild card for me because KD is like when he wants to be. I just think he's like unstoppable.
And they're sneaky playing well, right? I mean, like, aren't they in fourth right
now? They're
not
even getting talked about right now. They're just flying under the radar, playing good basketball.
Yeah. The one team that's just remember I said the Wizards would make the play-in? That was a bad take.
Well, it was a good take, AP. We both took the Pelicans, and they're down to 20-1.
Boston too. Oh,
why did I take my team last night, Tyler? I knew I should have taken the Bucks. I was so pissed.
This is Boston too small. Boss, bro, do you realize who they're getting back right now? A big Bob Williams? Oh, come on, man. The team is going to be so tough.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think those two teams are head and shoulders above the rest, especially because the Celtics are just a terrible matchup for the Nets. Right?
Yeah, they can all they're not the biggest team, but they can all switch and they can all defend. I mean, we've seen that time and time again.
Yeah. All right, we are ready for the best bets. Anything more on the games, Tyler, before we do best bets?
Nope, that's pretty much it for me on that one. I've taken we all pretty much like that over in the Denver-Memphis game. They're going to get up and down the floor. What do you guys think?
Nuggets are slow paced. What do we have on the projections? What did I have it, Tyler? Do you remember?
117, 114. So
I have it under.
Yeah.
But I'm not betting unders right now. If it's under, it's a lead. If it's over, it's a bet. Because these scores are just ridiculous. So, all right. Let's go for best bets. Tyler, we'll start with you. Side total prop. What's your best bet for the day?
I'm going with the Jalen Duren double at plus 235. And then as for a side, give me the Pistons money line. I think they win that game pretty easily.
All right, taking a stand with the Pistons money line. AP, how about you? Best bet for today, side total or prop?
I mean, so I wanted to say the Warriors, but man, we've seen these it's like a domino effect. When one happens, we get at least two or three more. So I can't do that. I'm gonna say this first game. I'm gonna say the overs. 'Cause I like the Pistons. I like the Pistons side money line, but I'm gonna say the overs too. I just think we see a lot of easy buckets here, and yeah, I mean, Bojan, I think he has a big game. I like the Duren call as well, and then on the other side too. I mean, as long as especially actually if Mike Conley's out, then yes, definitely sign me up for the overs in this one.
All right. I'm going with the Miami Heat. I'm going to take them. It moved down to -4 with that news. Hey, that's even better, even though I already bet it. So I'm locked in at 5. But I think I'm just not high on the Bulls right now. I think this is a great spot for a Miami team. And, hey, if you're living in Chicago and it's cold, you get down there to Miami, you got to be having a good time. I think that home court advantage will be in full effect tonight. So give me the Miami Heat.
Spread. I forgot to add my just got to do it. Got to stay on brand. Just with these money line dog and parlaying them. My like money line dog parlay is the Dubs and the Wizards. Combine that plus
and the Wizards.
Yeah, on the Wizards. A lot needs to happen.
I thought he was going to pick the Pistons. I didn't even know.
I thought he was too.
Direction.
No, because the rule of that is it has to produce something. You know, we need at least the odds need to give us at least 14, 15 or something to 1. So
that's awesome. Our guy,
you can do all three if you want.
Yeah, he's giving out jaw double and win, and he likes the Bam double.
And we usually do it Friday because Friday, you know, entertainment purposes. Yeah. It's always a $50 bet. Nothing.
And
crazy,
we also have so many more options, right? And it just feels like
exactly.
Friday nights are crazy. I swear the NBA weekends are crazy. It feels like Sundays are crazy too for upsets.
NBA weekends are ridiculous right now. The injury reports, I swear,
not right now. It's always been like that.
Well, yeah. Well, as I've been realizing it more. It's like the injury reports go on to steroid mode come Saturday.
I blame that Instagram girl that has the Starbucks cup that's just blowing the whole Phoenix Suns team. It's her fault. That's why they're all doing it.
Who is this?
You don't remember that a couple years ago?
Video.
Oh, yeah. Okay. A couple years ago. I thought it was recent.
I'm sure she's still out there. I don't think anyone's settled down with her. I'm pretty sure she's probably still single and available. She doesn't look like wife material to me. So, all right, there you have it. That's our NBA rundown. We'll be back tomorrow, same time at 12 p.m. Eastern with Chris Randone. Tyler is going to be picking winners with Holden and Travis at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow?
Yep.
So that's what we've got for as far as the bet side here for the next couple days. AP, what great content are you producing this week?
Yeah, I mean, NBA 7 days a week, you know, and things are starting to heat up. So come get on board. But we got the NBA rundown later today. I'll be on that with, I forgot who else is on that, but we got the Up to Lock show as well. And then NFL is going to be a ton of fun. So the main slate is Saturday, and then there's a 3-game slate on Sunday on Christmas. And then we also have a 5-game NBA slate on Sunday as well. So it's going to be a great time over at Run Pure Sports.
All right. Well, we're definitely looking forward to that. Thank you for joining us today. Let's cash some of these tickets tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Guys, on your way out, hit the thumbs up. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, giving you the winners. Run Pure.